You know, by far, the biggest problem that I'm seeing right now with beginning makers is that they are underpricing their products. They're giving away huge profits. So I'm here today to help because I want to see you succeed. So I've come up with a simple strategy. You can use it today to increase your profit. No joke. I mean, who doesn't want more money? I mean, if you don't want more money, just stay home, sit on the couch, watch some cartoons. Maybe? I know you're sitting there wondering, who the heck is this guy? Who is he to tell me how to make a profit? Well, I'm just going to give you a quick background of who I am. So when I was a little kid, I would buy baseball cards, and I grew up just outside Chicago, and everybody there loved the Cubs. They loved the Chicago White Sox. And so when I'd get a pack of cards, I'd pull out the Cubs and pull out the White Sox, and I'd take them to school, and I'd sell them for $0.25 a card. Well, when I was a kid, baseball cards cost about $0.25, 35 cents for a pack. And I was selling each Cub for a quarter. That was like a whole new pack. So I figured out quickly that if I sold those cards, I'd get some profit. I could buy more. And pretty soon I had a huge baseball card collection. And my mother goes, how did you get all those cards? Because I sure didn't buy those for you. I was like, oh, I've just been selling them. She would say, where were you selling those cards at? I said, oh, to my friends at school. They give me $0.25 a card. She goes, you can't do that. You can get me in big trouble and you can get you in big trouble. So thus ended my baseball card career, but I did it for quite a long time and I made some decent money and got a lot of baseball cards. I knew how to make a profit quickly, being a little kid. But the apple of my eye, the pride of my purpose, has got to be this store you see behind me. That's Rooms and Rest Furniture. I worked there for 20 years or more. I don't know anymore. And I've been a part of a team that has helped so many salespeople become successful, and we've taught them how to make a profit. That is a huge part of why I know how to make a profit. Oh, and not to mention I own 2 builds and make stuff out of wood. Make YouTube videos for you guys. So all that being said, I understand what it takes to have a successful business. And listen, now listen careful. All I care about is that you understand what it takes to have a successful business, and I want you to succeed too. So to get started, I created a free worksheet. Yes, I said a free worksheet that you can use to figure out this strategy. And it's free on my website. I'll leave a link in the description below. Download it as many times as you need. Share it as many times as you can. Help other people learn how to understand this system. In fact, I'm teaching you this strategy. I think it's kind of your responsibility to teach it to others too. So anytime you're in a forum or in a group chat and you see someone asking, how much should I charge for this end table? I want you to share this formula with them. Share the worksheet if you need to. Share this video if you need to. Now truly, this is the only system that a beginning maker should be using. I say that because this is a beginning strategy and it gives you an understanding of the basics of business without having to add in all the intricate things you'll learn later. It's very basic and it helps you understand the principles of making a profit. Listen to me, one more thing before we dive deep into this strategy. Just listen. Owning a business is not easy, and you're gonna have to move with a purpose in order to make a profit. If you find yourself saying these things like, oh, who needs profit? I just love making stuff out of wood. Or what's another one? I gave him a discount because I know him. Or here's one that I used and I learned not to use anymore. It wasn't my best work. I knew I could have done better, so I just charged a little less. If you're not one who cares about profit, please close your doors. Don't run a business then. Just stop before you go broke. So if that spurred a little anxiety into you, good. Yeah, okay, now let's fix it. I'm gonna do a little slideshow presentation for you right here. And if you have the worksheet along, that's great. Just fill in the blanks with the project you're working on and see how it goes. See what you should be charging. If you have questions about it, put them in the comments below. We'll answer them. I'll answer them. Any other business owners out there that are successful, I'm sure they'll jump in and help answer too. All right, so to get started, we're going to deal with the basic pricing model. That's what I call this, is the basic pricing model. It's going to give you the basic understanding of businesses for beginning makers, and any maker. It doesn't matter what you make. This is a great way to start. The first thing we're going to tackle is the total project expenses. Sorry if I'm looking down there. I'm trying to see what I'm pointing at, so ignore that. I'm sorry about my eyes drifting sometimes. But the first thing we're going to talk about is total project expenses, and that's everything you're going to use to build your project. You know, it's going to be the lumber, the screws, the glue, stain, the finish, anything that the maker is going to use to build the project, any of the materials. It's not going to be like, oh, I had to buy a table saw to build this, or I had to buy a sewing machine to build this. Those things don't count. Those are business expenses. So you'll learn those in a later strategy. They're just a part of doing business, and you need those for most projects. Now, if there's a specialty tool that you have to get, you might be able to add that in. It's kind of up to your discretion. You don't want to tell somebody that you're making them I make a wine rack, and then you had to buy a miter saw to do it. You don't charge them for the miter saw. Okay? Basics. Just the materials you're going to use to build it. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is the total hours and days. You're going to want to keep track of your time. It's very important to be very detailed when you're new. Keep track of the exact time you're using. A little caveat with this, I do a lot of CNC machine work. I charge the same rate that if I was doing this, I would charge the same rate for my CNC machine that I would for my hour. I keep track of the same hours on that uses as what I use. Okay? You don't have to do it that way. I'm just trying to keep it simple for you if you're a CNC worker. Okay? Yeah, be very detailed. As you increase your skills and your learning, your time is going to go down, which is where I talked about scaling up. But here's where you can increase your rate until you're comfortable learning a new strategy for pricing. And I'll give you new ones as we go. But today, this is all we're going to talk about. Okay, so the next thing is shipping costs. You're going to want to keep track if you have to ship the product. You want to keep track of the postage and how much UPS or USPS is going to charge you, or anybody, DHL, whoever you're using to ship it. You're going to want to charge that. You want to keep track of that. If you have to deliver it yourself and you're driving cross country to deliver it, you want to keep track of the gas expenses and everything and figure out how much it's going to cost to take it there. Oh, if you sell on a website, where am I here? Yeah, if you sell on a website, a lot of those already charge shipping and everything. So know what you're dealing with. Know your website in and out that you're dealing with, whatever platform it is. Okay, next is taxes. How do I say this? Read my lips. Hire an accountant. In the US and other countries, you'll need to pay taxes, obviously, to the government. So you're going to have to keep track of that. That's going to come off the top of your products. Just know that you have taxes to pay. I'm not going to sit here and talk about taxes. Hire an accountant. But yeah, taxes, again, it's a lot better than going to jail. Don't want to go to jail. Tax evasion, not cool. What we're going to talk about now is the actual formula. Here's the formula for a new beginning business owner. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out the materials, figure out our hours and the rate that we're going to charge, and that's going to give us our total business expenses. And then we're going to take those expenses and we're going to multiply them by 2, and that's going to give us wholesale pricing, right? So here's the example. All right, so we have $100 worth of materials. And we're going to take, let's say our project, we're just going to make this up. Let's say the project took us 5 hours. And we're going to take that 5 hours, we're going to multiply it by 30 bucks. So our hourly expenses were 150. So we're going to take the 100 plus the 150, that gives us 250. Now this 250, this is not the price that you charge the customer, because this does not give you any profit for your business. Yes, it gives you, the builder, the maker, an hourly rate, but you have nothing to build your business on. Nothing. You paid for your materials, you paid yourself some hourly wage. This is a great way, this is most of the way that hobby builders do it. All right, but anyway, let's keep going. So the total project expenses were $250. Now to get the wholesale pricing, we take that $250 and we multiply it by 2. Gives us 500 bucks. That's the wholesale pricing. You can charge this if you want. Your business will not scale and grow very fast. I don't charge this. This is not what I charge. I can't do enough productivity to make enough profit at this to actually run any kind of business, and I doubt you can either. And what we really want to do, this is where true growth happens, is retail profit. This is where your business will scale and explode. All right, so what do you think it is? It's simple. You're taking the wholesale pricing and you're going to multiply it by 2. All right, so wholesale price, we had $500. We take that $500 and we multiply it by 2 and we come up with $1,000. And that is retail pricing. That's your retail profit. But that is not what you charge the customer. Not what you charge the customer. Now this number will always look huge, so much so that you might not even want to tell your customer that, hey, it's going to be this much money. But remember, you're building custom products. You're a maker. You have to value the customization you do for people. You're building amazing products that most of the people on this planet can't even imagine building, let alone have the talent to build nice. You need to be paid for that. Okay, so next thing, shipping and taxes. You always add shipping on after the multiplication. I've heard people add shipping in the beginning and they multiply it out. Don't do that. Just add it on at the end. Add the taxes on. In my state, we have the shipping and then we tax on the shipping, find out what your state does. Sometimes you don't tax the shipping, sometimes you do. Again, I am not the tax man. Okay, so anyway, you take your wholesale, retail pricing, whatever you're gonna charge, and you add the shipping, and that gives you your subtotal. Then you take that, $1,000. Let's say the shipping charge, we're gonna pretend it's 20 bucks. Take that $20, add it on, that's 1,020. That's not our total, because we need to multiply that 1,020 by our tax rate. So figure out what your local tax rate is. Gonna do 6% here. So if you multiply the 1,020 by the 6%, that gives us, let me look over the camera here, it's in the way, $1,081.20. That, my friends, is what you charge your customer. Go download the worksheet, use it on all your projects, share the link with your friends, share this video with your friends. After you use this strategy, be sure to come back to the comments below, leave a message telling us about how it worked for you. Let's be an inspiration to everyone in this community. Now, move with a purpose, go be great, subscribe, like, watch whatever video they're telling you to watch next, subscribe button, whatever. Thanks for being here.